Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, guests of honor, it is a great honor to invite our keynote speaker for today, Honorable Professor Dr. Muhammad Zilal Hamzah from Indonesia. This session shall be moderated by Dr. Ahmad Fali bin Arham from UITM Cawangan, Malacca, Malaysia. Please welcome them. My brother Professor, the floor is yours.
Hamzah, our keynote speaker for this final session, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to congratulate to all committee members who have jointly organized this event successfully. Secondly, I would also thank all presenters, authors and participants of ACBESS 2021 for joining this event and this session specifically. Without further ado, let me introduce our honorable keynote speaker, and his name is Professor Muhammad Zilal Hamzah. He was born in Padang in West Sumatra province in July 11, 1964. Currently, he is the head of doctoral program of public policy studies and head of Center for Financial Inclusion at Faculty of Economics and Business, Trisakti University. He received his doctoral degree from Economics Doctoral Program, University Kebangsaan Malaysia in 2005. He is also an appointed reviewer for some journals like Journal of Sustainability, Science and Management and Journal of Business and Social Development, University Malaysia Terengganu. He is also an external examiner in University of Malaya, University Malaysia Terengganu, Swinburne Technology University, UITM Shah Alam, and University Kebangsaan Malaysia. Currently, he is also the member of the Indonesian Association of Islamic Economists, the Indonesian Economic Scholar Association, the Indonesian Lecturer Association, and Association of Muslim Intellectuals. With regards to his expertise and study area, he specializes in public policy, fiscal decentralization, and Islamic economy and finance, and he also published 75 articles in various journals. He also wrote some books like Fiscal Decentralization of Economic and Growth, The Introduction of Fiscal Decentralization, The Success Factor of Sustainable Development, and Readings in Islamic Economics. With all such remarkable achievements, it is my great pleasure to welcome Professor Muhammad Zilal Hamzah for his 1-hour sharing session on the topic entitled Islamic Fiscal Philanthropy and the Role of Islamic Social Organization, a lesson learned from Darul Quran. So the floor is yours, Prof.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ahmad. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And very good morning for all of us. Wassallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. Yang berbahagia, of course, Datuk, Datin, Profesor, Dr. Tuan Puan, and presenters, also audience in this conference. My respect, of course, to be to Professor Dr. Abdul Halim Muhammad Noor, Rector UITM Malacca Branch, keynote speakers, Dr. Muhammad Kabir Hassan, Dr. Ferdinand Gul, and also Dr. Atiur Rahman. And of course to Professor Madya, Dr. Muhammad Saladin Abdul Rashul as the conference chair, and also to the committees. As I mentioned before to Dr. Ahmad, I'm happy to be here. I also referred to Prof. Gul yesterday when I watched his speech about sustainability. Not just when he mentioned about his speech, but also when he mentioned about Kampung Baru, Nasi Lemak, many states in Malaysia. So when only around 4 years in Bangi, I feel I already have a new hometown after Minangkabau and also North Sumatra, Medan. And then Of course, thank you very much for inviting me to the virtual Asian Conference on Business, Economic, and Social Science 2021. Themes contemporary research insights in the area of business, economic, and social science development. My topic is about Islamic fiscal philanthropy and the role of Islamic social organization, a lesson learned from Darul Quran. I think this topic, as mentioned by our rector yesterday, today we face the new norm lifestyle, and I think this topic is relevant to new insights of economic activity in this new norm lifestyle, and also I think relevant to the participation of Muslim society over the world in effort to fulfill his or her obligatory as human of good creature, and also as the follower of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and of course, special in Indonesia. About this philanthropy in Indonesia, mostly this activity like the just spiritual economic activity, and yet to be whole this activity as the multi-dimension Islamic activity in Indonesia. So I think this is very crucial, especially for us Indonesia, to discuss about Islamic philanthropy and also the role of its organization. Okay, it's okay for my slide, Dr. Ahmad. So we know that Islamic economic right now is very popular discussion among scholars, when we know that Islamic economic already mentioned from Timur Quran at the 19th century, but it is only for the spiritual formula. But right now, in 20th century, by Muhammad Iqbal, the discussion about Islamic economic already complete through the whole system of life, especially for the Muslim society. So as we know, discussion about Islamic economic, we will discuss about Islamic finance and also Islamic social finance. For the Islamic social finance especially, because the Islamic finance such as banking, non-banking, and stock market already have the position itself in the environmental of Islamic finance. So about Islamic social finance, it is very have the lack of the growth for the organization itself. So as we know that Islamic philanthropy such as like zakat as obligatory charity, infak sedekah as voluntary charity, and also wakaf as endowment, it is very difficult to grow, especially in Indonesia. As we see in my slide, Indonesia already produced some regulation about these two big Islamic fiscal finance as zakat and wakaf. So about, for example, zakat, government already produced Act number 42 of 2006, and for the wakaf, Indonesian government already produced the Act number 38 of 1999 and number 23 of 2011. So by this government acts, Indonesia build a big institution for zakat. We know that as Basnas in Indonesia, or Wakaf or Badan Wakaf Indonesia, Indonesian Wakaf Board, to organize or to maintain how zakat and wakaf be fulfill their mission in Islamic social finance, and also to help Indonesian Islamic economic as a whole. And as we know that Indonesia also have almost more than 87 population in Indonesia, data on 2015, and by the bigger population itself, we see in this slide that the Indonesian zakat performance, especially in 2020, around 327 trillion, the potential, but the actual collected is only 71.4 trillion in 2020. And then for Indonesian cash wakaf especially, from the potential around 180 trillion in 2020, so the actual only around 815.9 billion only in 2020. So this figure show us the real condition that Islamic social finance is not popular in Indonesia due to the collecting zakat and wakaf itself. However, actually Indonesia already built already collaboration between government and also NGO and Islamic Union itself, how to collaborate in collect the potential philanthropy fiscal in Indonesia. We know that Indonesia, from the perspective of government, have three big organizations right now. We saw that KNEKS, National Islamic Economic and Finance Committee, where in this organization it is consists from several ministry that sit together in this organization to think and manage the regulation about Islamic philanthropy in Indonesia. And as I mentioned before, Indonesia also build Basnas and BWI, Basnas, the National Amil Zakat Agency, and BWI is Indonesian Wakaf Board. And then in the NGO side, we are also have such as like Indonesian Association of Islamic Economic. Also, we have Association of Muslim Intellectuals, and then we also have Syariah Economics Community, where this NGO also try to how to make the suitable management between regulators and then operational for the Islamic philanthropy, such as like the biggest one, Muhammadiyah, and and then Nahdlatul Ulama and many small Islamic social organizations such as Dompet Duafa and also Darul Quran. So with the full site of organization to build and manage and to realize the potential of Islamic philanthropy in Indonesia, it should be Islamic philanthropy in Indonesia become growth bigger and bigger for every year. But unfortunately, like for example in Islamic finance itself, like Syariah Bank and also Syariah non-bank organization like what we call that cooperation and others. There is the condition what I said is growth is never more than 5% in market share. Of course, this is the lowest growth that emerged in this organization. So around 1 year ago, Indonesian governments tried the others method with the compile 3 Islamic bank like Syariah BNI, Syariah BRI, and then Syariah Mandiri become one big Syariah bank, and we will see this method when collaborate from 3 Syariah bank become one big Syariah bank. Maybe for 2 or 3 months after that, we see not growth for this activity, but we hope until maybe 1 or 2 years, the method will be have the good result. So waiting for the Islamic finance growth smoothly and bigger in Indonesia. So the help of Islamic social organization is very need to help the condition. So as we know that Islamic social organization like Muhammadiyah and Nahdlatul Ulama, actually they have many assets and also good growth in Islamic social organization. But as I mentioned before, their activity not include the whole Islamic community in Indonesia, and the small ones such as like Darul Quran, we hope and I also hope their activity can also become part of this condition to help Indonesian Islamic society to become growth and they can access many Islamic finance easily, so they can make their activities smoothly, and also as the zakat mission in Indonesia to change, for example, the mustahik become muzaki. like that, and also to avoid them become the poorer community in Indonesia. So this is why I see the purpose of social funds to increase economic growth. This very good media evenly also in distribute to all groups, so it can eliminate the gap between the rich and the poor, and also to ensure a balance of income in the Islamic community in Indonesia, and also to make more struggle for the Islamic community, or we call always with ummah in the economic arena, from the lower economic activity until the higher economic activity. So also for the poor people feel valued because there is empathy from his brotherhood from the rich one. And of course, we hope the purpose of this social fund able to develop a small and medium micro business in Indonesia, as we know that around 80% of economic activity in Indonesia come from the small and medium micro business. And as I mentioned before, the purpose of social funds, we can hope able to cover up the government's financial difficulties. Like we know that in Indonesian budget on 2021, Indonesia have many deficit for its budget around 5%. So with the potential zakat and wakaf around 800 trillion, and then the deficit of Indonesian budget on 2021 around 1,000 trillion, Indonesia able to fulfill their deficit with Islamic fiscal revenue. So I hope the purpose of the social funds in Indonesia become higher and higher. Why this idea of Islamic economic very difficult to make Indonesian economic activity become bigger and bigger? I see from the ideas of from the famous Islamic scholars like Ibn Khaldun, for example, when the idea of Ibn Khaldun, such as like more growth might lead to social costs, excessive spending and luxury habits might cause unethical and immoral behavior, such as like inflation, unemployment, and others. Also, demand for precision is higher in the urban areas than rural areas. And then the economic and financial crisis that have affected the global community is partly due to self-interest and greed, which characterize the capitalist economic system. So when we compare about the capitalist economic system and Islamic economic system, of course, we didn't find the big self-interest and greed in Islamic economic system. So by the Islamic economic system that proposed by Ibn Khaldun, we hope the Islamic finance in Indonesia might grow higher and higher. Ibn Khaldun's ideas on economic also have the support from the West side, such as like Encyclopedia Britannia mentioned that Ibn Khaldun is the one or most prominent social scientist in Muslim Arab, come from Muslim Arab. Then he is also mentioned by former US president like Barack Obama, that Ibn Khaldun ideas such as like greed must be able to achieve in many system in economic. So based on this social economic philanthropy organization, so one of the biggest model in Indonesia is through Islamic boarding school, or we call that pesantren, or place for santri. In Indonesia is very popular. There is so many pesantren in Indonesia. As we know that pesantren mostly founded by Kiai. Kiai is Islamic teacher and spiritual guide in that school. And the student, we call that as santri. Then the santri or student stay in a hostel or college in this Islamic boarding school. And then every needs for the santri is produced by santri itself, and then santri beside study in this pesantren, they also may work for the pesantren. And the pesantren usually locate in rural areas, but sometimes in some provinces in Indonesia, we also able to find this pesantren in the downtown. So as we know that pesantren in Indonesia already built more than hundreds years ago. This is, we can see in this slide, 10 most popular Islamic boarding school of pesantren in Indonesia. Start from Pondok Pesantren Sidogiri, the oldest one, until the Pondok Pesantren Anwar. This is when we try to find in websites, we can see this is the 10 most popular Islamic boarding school in Indonesia. This is include Pondok Pesantren Tahfiz Darul Quran in number 9 as the popular Islamic boarding school. This list or data is exclude Muhammadiyah and also Nahdlatul Ulama, because as I mentioned before, Muhammadiyah and Nahdlatul Ulama already growth bigger and bigger, and right now Muhammadiyah itself have more than 9,000 unit of school, start from the elementary until the university. And also Nahdlatul Ulama have almost then 6,000 school around Indonesia. And from this perspective of Islamic boarding school, we have now one model that built by or known by Ustadz Yusuf Mansur. We call that Pesantren Darul Quran. Yusuf Mansur at year 2007 build this PPPA Darul Quran, which is main located in rural area of Jakarta, exactly at the Cipondoh sub-district in Tangerang district. Main program of this pesantren is learning and memorize our Quran. We call that Hafiz Quran. So students who stay or work at this pesantren, after finish here study, they will memorize our Quran. Darul Al-Quran have the mission as the Islamic boarding school that harmonize between education, life and social, and also missionary. So through the teaching of one day and one verse, they already make the beautiful standard of santri or student qualification in his pesantren, and due to the mission, right now Darul Quran already growth fantastically for the others unit below the PPPA Darul Quran, from the social unit until to the profit unit. And as we since in this next slide, Daku philanthropy mission, or the desire to promote the welfare of others, also expressed especially by generous donation of money to good causes. So more far from that's the Basnas or DWI do in their organization. Daku Philanthropy Mission already running the donation about money that we call that sadaqah, and then with the miracle of giving that mentioned by Yusuf Mansur, sadaqah can collect by the Darul Quran through the sadaqah capital, sadaqah property, vehicles, agriculture land, and many others kind of sadaqah or donation. So by productive the sadaqah, this pesantren become make and produce many others productive economic activity under the Darul Quran organization. Right now, we can see the Darul Quran program itself. There are 5 main program in Darul Quran as the Islamic boarding school right now. The first one is education and missionary endeavor. In this program, they provide higher education, pesantren of tahfiz, house of tahfiz, teacher, sympathetic guru program, Quran call program, mobile Quran program, and also the beasiswa tahfiz Quran program. And from the second program, that is social and humanity, Darul Quran right now have 5 activity. The first one is Santri of Disaster Alert. Second one, Mustahik Services. The third one, Nusantara Hampers Donation. The fourth one, Ambulance Services. and the last one, village restoration. From the third program, economic enhancement, Darul Quran right now have a hotel and travel agency. Darul Quran also have a financial technology organization that known with PyTrend, and also they have publisher and printing, village of Quran and agro tourism, village of agro tourism, export, special economic productive of pesantren, and also Dakru agro techno like plantation, farm, and fishing activity. And for the another program, they healthy program like Daku Sehat of Indonesia and Human Medical Services. And then for the last program, they call broadcasting program. Right now, Darul Quran have Daku television, Daku radio, and also Daku movie. For the whole program, Darul Quran right now already employee more than 1,000 employment in their activity, and able to support around 10,000 more poor people to become better and better in their life. And also, we can see in this slide, each unit, we call that National Amil Zakat Institute or LASNAS, currently launched its first sustainability report at the 2021 in public expose activity, exactly on Thursday, February 25. This publication claimed by PPA as the first time in the history of the Islamic philanthropic movement in Indonesia. So by publish this sustainability report, they hope they will become trust by the ummah in Indonesia to make sedekah or another philanthropy to PPPA Darul Quran. So as we see right now, in another perspective, PPPA Darul Quran also already built to higher education in Indonesia. The first one is Institute Darul Quran, and the second one is the Mahakarya University. So right now, PPPA Darul Quran already fulfill their education system in Indonesia, start from kindergarten kindergarten until the higher education. And this is timeline of Darul Quran. So Darul Quran right now have the timeline, and they think about a long-term plan since 2007. With the positioning of Dream 5 continent, they want to build many activity over the world. And as we know that they already build their activity, for example, in Melbourne and also in Palestine. We see that in this 2 weeks condition in Palestine, there are one building of Darul Quran also mentioned by television that hit by Israel in Gaza. So in long-term plan, dream with 5 continents right now. Darul Quran make one program for their employee to be settle or have the certificate from many international certificate to make them able to when they send by Darul Quran over the world. And okay, this is the conclusion from my material. The first one is need the trusted leader. Need a trusted leader by a whole community for one Islamic boarding school. So how Indonesian community, especially Islamic community, is very, very believe for his teacher, for his kiai in one Islamic boarding school, already make the Islamic boarding school of Santron become bigger and bigger. So in PPPA Darul Quran, community is trust by the personality of Yusuf Mansur in this case. The second conclusion is Darul Quran have internal networking and supports each other between this network, so they can or able to make the smooth transportation or also distribution one and other to collect and distribute their philanthropy collection. And the third one pesantrens must have the good organizational structure, clear nomenclature, and understanding internal and external stakeholders. So Darul Quran have this organization structure, nomenclature, and understanding internal and external stakeholders clearly. When we try to find this organization, we can see in their website. Like the other big organization, Darul Quran also have the institutional research organization. So it is the advantage also from the Darul Quran that they have the institutional research organization. And the next is human resource capacity and ability. So they employment, I mean, they have a link and international communication that able make trust from the other stakeholders outside the Darul Quran. And then right now, PPPA also active to register such as like copyrights, trademarks, patent, and others to the law and human rights ministry in Indonesia. So it is also the big program from Indonesian government itself. Every personality and also organization in Indonesia must be registered their activity, their production, their patents, and others in law and human rights ministry, so they have the personal registered, so nobody can claim what they already done before. The next is they also have new branding and create new business model right now. PPPA also try to build a business model when they find or they see another business model can emerge from another, so they shortly they will make also the business model. And productive alms giving in the flagship program, as I mentioned before, they already make the productivity program from charity or alms that giving to the Darul Quran. And right now, as the last conclusion, Darul Quran also have big wakaf agricultural land. For example, in Jambi province and also in another province in Indonesia that endowed by people, Islamic people in that province. So I think that's all due to the activity of Darul Quran as the their part of Islamic social organization, Islamic social philanthropy organization, and also their part in Islamic Indonesian Islamic economic itself. So thank you very much. That's all. Thank you for the attention and also the time from the audience to hear my speech. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
All right. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much, Prof. Muhammad Zilal, for this fruitful sharing session. It is good that we can see how does the Islamic economic and Islamic development can contribute towards the development of the country such as in Indonesia. So now, Prof, we will spend some time for us to go into the Q&A session because there were some questions that have been posted by some of our participants. So I'll go straight to the first question. For the first question comes from Professor Fazlan Sufyan. The question is, what is your opinion with regards? Okay, what is your opinion in regards to the merger? No. Okay, the first question is, I have few questions with regards to the merger of the 3 Islamic banks in Indonesia. So the question is, what is your opinion in regards to the merger? And because from the previous study, we know that it will take about 3 to 5 years for any impacts to be apparent. For example, negative or the positive effect. So what is your opinion on that?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for Prof. Fadlan Sufyan. As we know that the merger is only around 3 months, so we have no idea for the effect of the merger. But I think for myself, the merger already make the organization become smooth, become strong, because we have no, or when we as the consumers of this bank try to find this bank, we can find this bank easily. They are already have many brands of this bank around city, around provinces in Indonesia. That is the easy to find the bank itself. This is the positive one. And the second one, of course, when we see about the product of this bank, we know that before they merge each other, they have 2 kind of supporting system in bank product. For example, like ATM, automatic teller machine support. For example, bank Syariah Mandiri before have to model in their support Islamic Syariah Mandiri Bank difference with their father Bank Mandiri. So there is 2 model of ATM. But in BNI, we know that they have one model in ATM, one model only. So the difference right now is become more easy to find with the one model. So one model, I mean this for Bank Syariah Indonesia as the merger. For the merger, we know that the name right now is Bank Syariah Indonesia (BSI). The other positive effect from the merger is we know that they will able to cover many different kind of Islamic ummah in Indonesia, and also Islamic organization in Indonesia become one condition, and then from the consumer, they know right now this is Bank Syariah Indonesia. That's the biggest one, as we know that it is also entered to OJK's book fashion in book number 4. So means that BSI become the biggest bank after Bank Mandiri, Bank BNI, Bank BRI, and also private banks such as like BCA Bank. And then BSI Bank become the biggest bank from the total asset perspective in Indonesia right now. But in the other perspective, I mean the negative one, I don't see the mission of this bank, how to take or to get, sorry, how to get another big business become their consumer. So when they want to make their asset become bigger and bigger, when they only hope from the individual consumer, I think this is cannot able until 3, 5, even 10 years, because we know that who have much money in every economic activity is organization, not personality. So if they have no idea to get many big corporation become their consumers, so I think BSI will not be able to compete with the big bank, with the others big bank in Indonesia. And the second one, the negative, I cannot see how they will go internationally. So the big bank must be able to compete out of their country, such as like CIMB Bank in Malaysia. CIMB in Malaysia already buy Niaga Bank in Indonesia. So we can find easily CIMB Niaga Bank in Indonesia right now. We know that that is Malaysian bank, such as like that. But when a doctor you see BSI now in Malaysia, I think you can find, except as the representative bank itself, because there's already there representative bank in Malaysia from BNI, Mandiri, and so on. That is, I think, the answer from me.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Still from Prof. Fazlan, he seems like very an active participant this morning. And his second question is, and the merger between the three banks will result in less number of Islamic banks in Indonesia, and hence less competition that would lead to less competition and greater concentration. So how Bank Indonesia attempts to address this issue?
Of course, when the merger of three banks right now, so Indonesia have the, we call that BUS, Bank Bank Syariah, right now from 13 bank become right now 11 banks. So theoretically will be have the concentration, but as I mentioned before, we have many activity from Islamic community in Indonesia. So based on their level of activity and also based on the uh, uh, what we call that area of activity. So I think there is no problem from the others Islamic banks outside BSI still to running well in Indonesia, because there is so many level of Islamic community activity in Indonesia right now. So less competition and greater concentration is might be, but it is take also long time procedure or long time activity. Thank you.
All right. We may be able to take a few more additional questions here, Prof. And this is the question from Muhammad Yasir Jafar. And what is the government or religious council role in this pesantren ataupun tahfiz Quran?
Okay, in Indonesia, Dr. Muhammad Yasir or Encik Muhammad Yasir, we have different regulation between Islamic education and conventional or secular education. Secular education come under the education ministry, National Education Ministry in Indonesia, but Islamic boarding school have the regulation from the Kementerian Ugama, religion ministry. So we have to regulation about this one. So for the pesantren perspective, such as like Darul Quran and also Muhammadiyah and also many pesantren Indonesia, when they do their activity, especially in education, they will come to the religion ministry instead to the national education ministry. So in Indonesia right now, we know that there are quote unquote two kind of university. For example, there are Islamic university in other hand, and then the conventional university in another side. So this is try to grow one another without compete each other. But this is the information from our here in this conference. Since around 10 years ago, Islamic University in Indonesia able to open many conventional program in this university, but underlying Sharia. For example, when we talk about Islamic University around 15 years ago, we cannot find economic faculty there. But right now, when we go to Islamic University in Indonesia, we also find the economic faculty. But this program is running by Sharia or Islamic perspective. In other side, conventional university, I think 15 years ago, we cannot find a faculty, especially in Islamic economic and business, for example. But right now, when we go to the conventional university, we will offer also the Islamic program in this university. So in Indonesia right now, I don't know exactly what is the mission of Indonesian government, except how to make Indonesian resident or a special student in Indonesia to have many chance to study in the higher education. That is the mission, I think, because when this program is able to run by Islamic and also by conventional for the same program, so the competition will be tight. But it is immersed in Indonesia right now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof, for the question. So the next question being posted on us is that from Professor Madya Dr. Maheran Hajikatan, what is the ratio of pesantren students and Muslim population in Indonesia? Is the number of pesantren enough?
Okay, as I answered before, there are two kind of Muslim student when study in Indonesia. Firstly, they study at the conventional education, and the second one they study in the Islamic education. And the third one, they can go to pesantren. They can go to pesantren. That pesantren is also have the Mahas Ali. Pesantren has also the university. As I mentioned before, Darul Quran have to high education level, university and also institute, or we call that in Malaysia is college university. So Darul Quran have college university and also have university. The ratios that student right now study in pesantren, I don't know exactly how the percentage, but more and more higher in this 10 years progress. So many parents in Indonesia sekarang, no, I use kata sekarang. Many parents in Indonesia right
That's
now,
fine, Prof.
because okay, many parents in Indonesia right now become become happy if their children come to pesantren to get his or her education, because when they go to pesantren, they have two dimensions of study. Firstly, conventional program, and secondly, they can able to learn Islamic religion with tightly in this pesantren, because all the pesantrens in Indonesia offer these two programs in their activity. So, is the number of pesantren enough? I think right now we have around 2,000, 2,600 pesantren. Start from the biggest one until the small one in Indonesia. So there is many seat that offer by the pesantren in Indonesia to Muslim community Indonesia to study there. So the number, I think, enough, but the activity is not enough, because the community have three choice when they go to have their education. Come to conventional or secular university or education, come to Islamic education that under Ministry of Religion or come to Islamic boarding school. So there is three choices from Islamic community in Indonesia when they went to get the study. Thank you.
Okay, I think it's pretty much the same like in Malaysia as well, Prof. For the past 10 to 15 years, we can see the rise of the school of Tahfiz even in Malaysia, and which shows that is a good indication of the practice of the Islamic religion among the people or the Muslim community, lah, Prof. And it's a good indication anyway. And so maybe we go to one last question, Prof. And so what is the initiative of the Indonesian government to increase public awareness to continue to give zakat and wakaf? Because the actual and potential collection is a huge gap. Because if I'm not mistaken, in your second slide, you showed that the potential one is about like 3 trillion, but then the actual one was about like 7 trillion, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, this is the question that I wait. We know that
Yes.
exactly right now. I'm also the former of commissioner of Indonesian Wakaf Board. Right now, the regulation about these two kinds of philanthropy, zakat and wakaf, is not complete yet. Is not fulfill the mission when we try to collect all the potential and actual, all the potential philanthropy. So this is, from my view, the big problem is the regulation itself. For example, Badan Wakaf Indonesia and Religion Ministry, they have what we call that the same function as regulation. It should be when one country or one government bill, such as like Badan Wakaf Indonesia in Indonesia, so regulation must be give to Indonesian Wakaf Board, so they know what they're done, they know what they're to do to this condition. And where is the Nazir? Give the Nazir to another institution. So when this is not by government, I mean to what we call that ubahsuai, to make the new yes, the regulation. So I think the potential collection is still the potential, and the actual more lower than the potential. Secondly, this is about the spiritual habit in Indonesia. As we know that Indonesia is not Islamic countries, even though Indonesia also as a member of OIC, but basically Indonesia is not Islamic system. So when we start from Indonesian 1945 until 1988, before the crisis, then falling from the new regime to the democratic regime, Indonesia is all the activity is Indonesia and under the secular system. So one Muslim in Indonesia always pay their zakat, their wakaf to who they want around he and she. So they pay their zakat, they pay the wakaf itself to the nazir and also to the amil. There is no organization before that. Only after 2004, Indonesia government built the Basnas and also BWI. After that only around 2004 until 2020, around 16 years. Uh, since that, Indonesia or Indonesian Muslim community try firstly to pay their philanthropy through this organization. But unfortunately, until right now, Indonesian people, Indonesian Islamic people, better, happier, and then easier to pay itself their philanthropy still to the Amil and Nazir that already have in their environmental, not to the organization like Basnas and BWI. That is the problem right now. So Indonesian government must take over this condition and push this condition to the all Islamic Muslim community to pay their philanthropy to the organization that already they build like Basnas and BWI. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Prof. And I found that the committee has already posted the link for fill up the attendance. So that denotes at the end of our session, Prof. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for the sharing session, and thank you also for your time to participate in our conference. And maybe in the near future, when the time's okay, and maybe the next time I will come and visit you in Padang, for example, so we can go back to our kampung.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, Prof. Thank you so much, Prof, and thank you to the AJK and committee members. And with that, I would end the session with Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Till we meet
warahmatullahi
again, Prof.
wabarakatuh. Till
Inshallah.
we meet again, and also I am very thank you for all my colleagues here in Malaysia, especially in Malacca, UTM Malacca. So I know many names here who asked me, and I think I'm very happy and proud of you all. Thank you very much again. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
All right. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah. So the floor is yours, and Sheikh Malik. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Fadli. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you to Professor Dr. Muhammad Zal Hamzah for insightful sharing, together with Dr. Ahmad Fadli Arham, respectively. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and everyone in attendance, we are reaching to the end of our ceremony today. With that, please allow me to invite Professor Technologist Dr. Shafinar binti Ismail, Deputy Director of Research and Industrial Cages, UiTM Cawangan, Malacca, Malaysia, to deliver the closing speech. Please welcome her.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and salam sejahtera everyone. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome all speakers, presenters and participants of Asia Conference on Business, Economics and Social Science, ACBESS 2021. First, I would like to express my utmost gratitude to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. With His blessing, we have successfully organized the conference. While circumstances prevent a face-to-face event, we are proud to be hosting this online conference given the new challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic that has forced us to pivot to a completely virtual one. The theme for the 2 days conference, Contemporary Research Insight in the area of business, economics and social science development, has been remotely set up to provide not only professionals but also novice researchers from all over the world with the opportunity to share their scholarly experience and exchange knowledge in the different fields of business, economics and social sciences. This event has been an excellent platform for all academicians, researchers and industrial experts from all around the world to share their knowledge finding with the expert globally. Looking at the conference schedule and the many wonderful and accomplished guest speakers and presenters, this conference is indeed a remarkable avenue of learning, networking, and inspiration. I want to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to ACBESS 2021 Organizing Committee and those who are involved directly and indirectly in making this event a success. I hope this remarkable event will continue in the future. I also would like to express my deepest thanks to the speakers and presenters who did their best to submit their presentation videos in due time to ease out the technicalities during the conference. I would also like to congratulate the receiver of the awards, which made an outstanding achievement throughout this conference. Thus, I hope everyone, especially the young researchers, gain some insightful benefits and experience from the conference. We hope that your experience in this virtual conference will be a rewarding one that sparks new future collaboration and areas of inquiry. Finally, I would like to congratulate once again all parties' efforts and cooperation, especially those who have made this event successful. I want to thank the committee members and all the universities involved who have put the utmost dedication into making sure this conference is successful. With that, I would like to officially announce the end of Asia Conference on Business, Economics and Social Science ACBESS 2021. I hope you have had an exciting virtual experience and anticipate seeing all of you again at our future events. Thank you, stay safe, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Professor Technologist Dr. Shafna Ismail, for her remarkable closing speech. Ladies and gentlemen, guests of honor, with that, we have reached to the end of our closing ceremony as well as the end of ACBESS 2021. Thank you, and thank you very much, fellow distinguished guests, for lending your ears and your support throughout our ceremony for 2 days. Thank you for making ACBESS 2021 a resounding success. Without your participation and also support, none of this will come true. We truly appreciate your contribution and support accordingly. Please accept apologies should be there any mistake and shortcomings from our part, not just during the closing ceremony, but the event as a whole. On behalf of organizing committee's members, thank you and thank you very much to all of you and hoping to see all of you again in future, insyaAllah. Kain berlipat di dalam istana, pakaian putri Raja Kayangan. Sepatah nasihat ilmu berguna, secubit budi jadi kenangan. With that, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and stay safe. Bye, see you then insyaAllah.